Hi, Sean here from the tour guide. We're doing our Hi, Sean here from the tour guide. We're doing our Barcelona Neighborhoods edition, and today I'm going to show you everything about the Gothic district. In this video, we'll be covering where the Gothic Quarter is and how to get there, the must-see highlights of the neighborhood, the history of this ancient area, and some of my favorite restaurants and bars that you must check out. Deep within the walls of old Barcelona lies Barri Gòtic, known in English as the Gothic Quarter. Located on the water in the central eastern part of the city, the Gothic Quarter is part of the Ciutat Vella. It is the area between La Rambla to the south, the harbor to the east, Via Laietana to the north, and Plaça Catalunya to the west. There are 3 metro stops on La Rambla. You can take the Green Line south to Drassanes, Liceu, or Catalunya stops. The first 2 stops will get you close to the center of the district. You can also take the yellow red lines down to Jaume I or Urquinaona stops, respectively. These will all get you there, but you'll find the proper Gothic Quarter is almost entirely inaccessible by vehicle, which is amazing. You'll have to walk from any of these metro stops into the neighborhood, which is perfectly fine. The Gothic Quarter isn't that large, and it's a beautiful, ancient part of the city with winding streets, so wherever you end up, it's gonna look beautiful and be amazing. As you step onto the old cobblestone and narrow streets of the Gothic Quarter, you're likely to feel that you've stepped back in time. There are more than 2,000 years of history built into these stones that line the streets, and just as many stories. One of our guides in Barcelona called this area a stage of history. There are houses bombed during the Spanish Civil War that have been built around the damage they received. Before renovating their homes, the people of this area have to call up local museums to make sure they aren't disturbing ancient Roman ruins below. If you're looking for that ancient European feel, the Gothic Quarter of Barcelona is where you want to go. All these small alleyways and small streets make this quarter a maze, which is fun to navigate. This means there are plenty of spots within walking distance to each other. So let's check out a few highlights and hidden gems for your next trip to the quarter. One of the biggest draws of this neighborhood is the Catedral de Santa Creu y Santa Eulalia, also known as la Catedral de Barcelona, or the Cathedral of Barcelona in English. Drastic cultural shifts have shaped much of the city, and there is perhaps no better example of this change than the cathedral. It was originally built in the 11th century on top of an even older church from Visigoth times. This is a huge theme in European building. Old foundation, reuse it, new structure. If you look carefully at the gargoyles that decorate the cathedral, you may notice something spectacular. While there are plenty of animals featured among these sculptures, one stands out: a unicorn looking out over the square. This isn't just a bit of creative license either. Back in the 13th century, people thought unicorns were a real thing. It's a fun Easter egg to spot, especially when you're traveling with kids. There's a pretty incredible legend surrounding this cathedral's namesake, Santa Eulalia. Known for her eloquence, the Christian martyr was tortured 13 times, 1 for each year of her life. In her honor, 13 white geese are kept in the cathedral. On the Baixada de Santa Eulalia, beneath the plaque commemorating the young woman, you can find an image of a barrel. According to legend, she was tossed in a barrel full of glass before being rolled down this very street. She is now the patron saint of Barcelona. The people of this district dance the Catalan Sardana outside the church every Sunday. The dance is centrally important to the Catalonian identity and culture. It's almost as important as the language, since when Franco was trying to unite Spain, he tried to ban both Catalan and the Sardana. The image of Santa Eulalia is honored in the Sant Jaume Square, just down the way from the cathedral. Here you can also find the reliefs of St. George slaying a freaking dragon. According to legend, St. George slayed the beast to save a princess. From the dragon's blood grew a rose, which St. George gifted to the princess. St. George's Day is now celebrated every 23rd of April, similar to Valentine's Day. This is a wonderful day to be in the city. The streets are filled with flowers, and there are plenty of concerts and poetry contests. Traditionally, men are meant to give roses to the women of their life and receive books in return. Nowadays, men and women receive books. Though, if you're single on St. George's Day, you might be able to pick up a free book from a local shop. While you're in the area, check out Plaça del Rei. This used to be the seat of the Catalonian power in the region. Here you'll find the chapel for the king and the royal palace, as well as the viceroy's palace. After the War of Spanish Succession, power in the region shifted to Madrid. The old stone walls of these palaces have seen some of the most consequential decisions made in the region. It was on top of the steps of this plaza where the Catholic monarchs received Christopher Columbus upon his return from the New World.
Bad news is we didn't find India. The good news is we discovered an entire new continent, which is pretty cool.
One of the more hidden places, which is actually located in the heart of the district, is the San Felipe Neri Square. This place was severely bombed during the Spanish Civil War. Though, if it weren't for the damage still in the walls of the nearby church, you would hardly know it. It's a peaceful, tucked away spot in an already tucked away neighborhood. There's a lovely fountain there, as well as a plaque commemorating those who died there. You can find it at the end of the narrow Carrer de Montjuïc del Bisbe. There are also tons of museums to check out in the Gothic Quarter, and they are really, really unique. The Musée d'História de Ciutat will take you through the violent history that made this city what it is today. The coolest part is that you can take an elevator down to see the Roman ruins hidden beneath the streets. You can still, to this day, see the ruins of an ancient Roman outpost in the Temple of Augustus. Though only the columns remain, this temple used to stretch 120 feet long. Of the many columns that used to line the temple, only 4 remain to this day, which kind of sucks. In proper Gothic Quarter fashion, this place can be a little hard to find. But you can find the Temple of Augustus in the Hiking Club of Catalonia, which I won't even try to tackle the Spanish version of that name. You should definitely check out the Picasso Museum, which is just down the Carrer de la Princesa from the Plaça del Rei. The most iconic artwork of the Picasso Museum is his version of Las Meninas. Now, let's talk a little about the history of this place. The history of the Gothic Quarter as we know it today begins in 113 BC when Rome invaded the Iberian Peninsula. They established a settlement in the east called Colonia Faventia Julia Augusta Pia Paterna Barcino. Let's thank the Romans, they shortened this name to Barcino, where the city derives its name. The spot where the Romans settled is what is known as the Gothic Quarter today. The Romans would go on to rule the area for about 500 years. After tons of conquering and reconquering, it was eventually taken over by the Christian crown of Aragon. Not to be mistaken by Aragon from Lord of the Rings. Love that dude. The Gothic Quarter shipyard was central to Spanish domination of sea trade in the 12th century. It became the seat of power in Catalonia, a medieval principality in the northwest of Spain. You can still visit the royal palace or Palau Real Major, where the kings of Aragon once made their consequential decrees.
Interessante.
An important segment of the city is El Cal, or the Jewish Quarter, which starts just northwest of the Plaça de Sant Jaume. This part of the city once held one of the oldest populations of Jewish people in history, even predating the arrival of the Romans. You can still see the ancient synagogue in the center of this district, which may have been built as early as the 3rd century. At its height, nearly 4,000 Jews lived in El Cal. In 1492, however, Catholic monarchs Ferdinand and Isabella, or should I say Isabella and Ferdinand, expelled the Jewish population of Spain as part of the Spanish Inquisition. Literally just made a video about Cannaregio district of Venice, where all the Jewish population moved to, or many of them. Their old quarter now holds some of the oldest buildings in the city. Where to eat? When you visit Barcelona, you're going to want to pack an appetite. There are lots to eat and drink in the quarter, and you will definitely work up an appetite with all the walking through the Gothic Quarter. To be honest, letting yourself get lost down the winding streets is a great way to find spots to sit down and enjoy a traditional food and drink of Barcelona. Here are a few of our suggestions. If you're looking for something sweet, look no further than La Pelaresa, just on the corner of Carrer de Petrichol. Here you'll find one of Spain's most beloved dishes, the churro. You may have come across these fried tubes of pastry at your local fair, but these guys blow the sugar off anything you'll find in the US. Paired with a warm cup of hot chocolate, this treat is the perfect bite before a walk around the city. If you're visiting Barcelona, you're gonna eat tapas as well. In case you're unfamiliar, which you definitely are familiar because everyone freaking loves tapas, these are meals served in small portions that are meant to be shared amongst loved ones and friends and unloved ones, whoever, just share them. It's an honored Spanish tradition and there are plenty of places to get some. El Bar del Pla, just next to the Picasso Museum, is one of the best in the city. It has a cozy interior with seating for you and your friends to sit down and share a meal. There are tons of options for tapas and wine at this place. You're gonna wanna order plenty for the table to try. And why not? Come on, you're on vacation. Might we recommend Iberian loin or the crispy oxtail with foie gras. If you're into seafood, definitely try the melt-in-your-mouth tuna tartare or even the squid ink croquettes. The fish is super fresh, all caught right there in the Barcelona harbor. Or at least you can imagine that way. Who cares? It feels fresh because you're right there. Another great place for tapas is El Champagnet. It's just next to the quarter in the trendy neighborhood of El Born on the Carrer de Montcada. Not only is it a great place for lunch and dinner, but they also specialize in an assortment of wines, including the obvious cava, which is the sparkling wine made in Catalonia known as the Spanish champagne. You can get a lot for your money here, so it's worth sampling as much as you can. Speaking of wine, you're definitely going to want to check out the Bodega Maestrazgo. These guys have been there for years, and they have a deep appreciation for the wine of the region. They have inventory from all over Spain and can answer tons of questions that you may have. And finally, when you're looking for a great place to eat at the end of the day, Can Culeretes definitely be on that list. This place holds the honor of being the oldest restaurant in Barcelona, established in 1786. It's the perfect place to get culinary perspective on the history of the city. The restaurant's 1786 special menu includes dishes like cod brandade with spinach cannelloni and also veal ribeye. It's all great stuff. It's a lovely place that brings the best locally sourced food without losing cozy home-style vibe. And the check size is about 30 euros, so you'd be eating good without breaking the bank. In short, there's a lot of great food in Barcelona. We at the tour guide actually run a food tour of the Gothic Quarter featuring every specialty this city has to offer. Iberian ham, local vermouth, fried sardines, and of course, tapas and empanadas. From the pre-dinner glass of wine to the delicious creme catalan for dessert, this tour covers everything you have to try in the Gothic Quarter. I definitely recommend it because I would definitely do it. It's pretty cool. I love the Gothic Quarter. It's a great place to spend time in. When you think of Barcelona, you're really imagining the photos and the images and the stories you've heard about the Gothic Quarter. So definitely spend as much time there as you can during your visit, especially walking around, going to bars, and spending your evenings there. And that's what we got for the Gothic Quarter. Did we miss anything? Feel free to comment your favorite spots below because I want to hear them and so do the other people watching these videos. They all want to see them too. Like and subscribe, don't forget to do that. And if you're planning your next trip to Barcelona, definitely check out thetourguide.com, thetourguide.com. Our in-depth tours bring you through all the sights and hidden gems this and many European cities have to offer. See you in Barcelona.
So that's it. If you like the video, click like. If you love the video, subscribe. If you have questions, comment them. If you have ideas for new videos, comment them. If you have funny things to say that are weird, comment them. We love that stuff. We send emails around the office. People go crazy. It's amazing. Otherwise, adios. I'm out of here. I'm going to another country to film more stuff. Probably France. Maybe Italy. I don't know. We'll see. Planning a trip to Europe? That's awesome. Ben, today I'm going to show you everything about the bar. 3 languages in 1 conversation.